beautiful people. How are you? Happy Monday. So, I love Mondays. I love Mondays at the beginning of the month. I think from years of being in sales-based business, I think, every time we got a new month, it was like, right, wipe the board, start from scratch. We're doing this thing. Every time we get a new week, we have the opportunity to do that too. So, if you don't know who I am, I'm Martine. I'm a digital business builder, and I'm here to help you build your online business. So it's come to my attention that there's a big issue at the moment with sales, right? In fact, I had a really beautiful friend of mine who spent years and years and years in the fitness industry come to me about her leads. And you know who you are, and I love you, and this is for you. And so the problem that she has, that a lot of my clients have at the moment, is that they're always spinning their wheels doing the wrong thing, because when you're in that place of need, you're reacting to everything that's going on. You're following this person's advice and this person's advice, and you're looking for answers everywhere. And the more you're looking, the less certain you become, because we're in that state of flux and need. And so we focus on lead gen because we're like, oh, we need leads, we need leads. And everyone on social media is talking about leads. In fact, I had to turn my phone off. I'm actually just going to make sure I'm streaming in the group, make sure it's working. I had to turn my phone off yesterday because my phone was stressing me out, because my whole news feed is always about sales and marketing and leads. And it was Sunday and I was tired. So I was like, me. So, if you start to look for things like leads and sales and marketing and solutions in that space, then your whole feed is filled with that, right? And it can be overwhelming. So if you're looking for things and you're always in that state of need and flux, and your feed is lined with people who are like, I made 6 figures in 1 minute, and I got like 400 leads from Clubhouse yesterday, and all these people saying all these things, it actually causes us more anxiety, which is not okay. And so what happens is that we start focusing on, oh, I need leads, I need leads, I need leads. And we focus um, on the leads, but we're forgetting about the thing that we don't want leads. What we want is sales, right? What we want is the thing that's going to take a lead for a sale. And you can have a bucket load of leads. And this is also what my beautiful friend Jason Grossman was saying last week. You can have a bucket load of leads, but if those leads don't translate to a sale, it's worth nothing. Nothing. Right? So let's just get super clear that what we want is sales, not leads. And what we want is this flow of customers, or a flow of like qualified people to become customers. And we want a flow of qualified people coming into our conversion tool. Because when you have a pathway to convert inquiries through to customers, now you have an idea on what works, right? And so, my darling friends, this is for you. This is about talking about how do you understand what your conversion tool is? Do you guys even know? So I haven't seen, just drop me in the comments below who's here, where are you calling in from, and what can we help you with in this space, right? Do you know what your conversion tool is? So everyone who's a PT, who's in that fitness space, your conversion tool might be a comp session, right? For my beautiful friends who are coaches and consultants, you might be life coaches or online trainers or online consultants, your conversion tool could be a sales call. Yeah. For a lot of my course creators, my digital product builders, your conversion tool could be a webinar funnel. What is the tool that will help you understand or help you convert someone who knows about you into a customer, someone who actually wants to work with you? Do you know that? If you know your conversion tool, drop it in the chat below. Let me know. Let me know what that looks like. Hang on, I've got to just turn my volume down because otherwise I hear myself, and that's sort of weird, right? Yeah, let me know. Do you know your conversion tool? At the moment, my conversion tool is a webinar, right? So I know that when I do live webinars, I get inquiries that lead to sales. So my focus, if I'm looking at, okay, how do I grow my business, is I need to be delivering more webinars. I need to be having live webinars, not evergreen webinars, but live webinars where I can book an appointment at the back end. My conversion tool is a sales call, right? My conversion process is webinar to sales call. Yeah. So I know that that's how I get customers. How do you get customers? If you're a face-to-face coach or consultant, is it through an appointment, right? And if your conversion tool is an appointment, then what you want to be looking at, and I know that Jason says this all the time, you want to be looking at getting appointments rather than leads, right? So it's time to shift the focus from, okay, how do I get more leads to how I get more appointments? And if you don't know what your conversion tool is, the question I ask of you is, how are you currently getting clients? Because what happens is we're looking at everyone online, right? And we're saying, hey, I want to have an automated system for sales. I'm like, yes, we all want an automated system for sales, darling. But if you don't have an offline system, if you don't have a way to convert people at all, then an online system is not going to do too much different for you. And I don't mean to be unkind, right? Because in this space, if you don't have a customer, you don't have a business, right? And you may want an automated online business, but right now you just got to do whatever you can, right, to get the sale. And so if your current way of getting a client is through having a sales call, then book sales calls, right, while you build your automated system. So important. Yeah. Book your sales call and then build your online system. Your online system should be a mirror of your offline system. Yeah. Everything that you do online should mirror what you do offline and how that all works for you. Right? So do you have a system? Question number one. What does that look like? And then what is the energy that you're putting behind sales? So I know for a lot of coaches, course creators and consultants, you probably don't love doing the sale, right? And so a lot of people get stuck in this place. And what I can tell you is sales only has the energy that you give it. And people who are abundant and people who are really mindful and people who are in a high vibration, they love sales. They don't love selling, but they love sales. So what I would ask you right now, you can drop it in the comments below. Hey, Catherine, lovely to see you. No, your conversion tool is how does someone buy from you, Catherine? So if the product is the app, then what will trigger someone to download the app? That's the conversion tool. Being a mentor will give you credibility, but to be a mentor, what has to happen before then? But it's a good question, right? Yeah. So, sales. If I say to you sales, what do you think of? I remember saying this to a group of trainers way back in the olden days when I was managing big groups of trainers. If you're here, nice to see you guys. And I remember sitting in a room of beautiful humans as we were going through sales. And I said, okay, what do you think of when you think of sales? And 90% of the room was like, oh my God, sleazy, salesy, untrustworthy, con men, awkward, uncomfortable. These were the words that they had for sales. And then there were 2 or 3 beautiful humans in there. They were like, oh my God, I love sales. Shoes, Boxing Day sales, car sales, end of financial year sales. Totally different energy. What was the difference between the two? Sales as a word is neutral, right? The only energy it has is the energy that you give it. So you can be the person in the room when someone says, hey, we're going to make a sale today. And you're like, oh, fuck. Ooh, sorry. I don't want to do sales. I don't want to be that person. You're only that person if you give that energy to it. But if you're here to make a difference to people, if you're here to really be of service, then making a sale is about helping someone through their transformation. Sale gives you permission to make the transformation. For anyone who's a coach or a consultant or a course creator, you're doing this to help someone get from where they are to where they want to be. The sale is the mechanism that allows the transformation to take place, right? So if you don't have that space where you can create that transformation, if you don't have a space of awareness that will take someone from, hey, I know about you, to yes, I need that thing, then you're not helping them, right? You're going to be sitting in your space, helping yourself for a very long time, but not helping the people that you're here to be of service to. So the first thing I want you to really challenge yourself around is, what is sales to you, right? How do you find a space to get excited about the sale. The sale is not the piece, right? The sale is just it's a mechanism. It's a pen, it's a tool that will allow you to start the process. It's the key to turning the lock in the process, right? So, how do you turn the lock in a way that feels easy rather than trying to get like every freaking key in the hole? And it's not going to work for you, right? So first of all, how do you change your energy about sales? To allow yourself this space of the sale will allow you to begin the transformation for you and for your customer, right? Super, super important. And then what are the steps to that, right? So if you're a face-to-face coach or consultant or course or group trainer, then maybe the way that you have that mechanism is through a complimentary session or a strategy call or a phone call. If that is your conversion tool, focus on that, right? Because you can get 100 leads and no calls, and you can spend fucking thousands of dollars. I'm very verbal today. I don't know why. Sorry for the F-bombs. You can spend thousands of dollars generating leads and not make a sale. Leads is not the thing that's going to help you, right? Your appointment and your conversion tool. So before you start driving Facebook traffic, and I'm a Facebook marketer and people come to me all the time and they're like, I need to run ads. I'm like, baby, what's your conversion tool? What is the thing that's going to take someone from where they are now to working with you? How are you converting your leads? Because if you don't know how to convert your leads, do not send and spend more money on them, because you're just wasting your money. And why would you do that? You want to just throw money away? Like I take donations, right? This is not the thing. What you need to do is understand what is the mechanism, what is the conversion tool that takes someone from lead to sale. Start there. And then what is the step before that? So for me, it's a webinar. My conversion tool is a sales call, and the step before that is a webinar. So the step that I want to be doing is getting people into my webinar, right? So for Catherine, you're trying to get people to download your app. Is it best for me to make individual connections online? God, no. Because for you to make individual connections online, it's time consuming, right? And you've got a free app. And you want to help thousands of people. If you had to have thousands of phone calls or thousands of connections, then maybe you do. But you need to have a space where your conversion tool could be a sales page for you, because you do have an app, Catherine. So I would say your sales page should be like your website. It's a page on your website where you're sharing what the app is for and how it helps people. So you cover those things that we talked about last week, the what, the who, the where, the when, the how. You cover that in a video, a sales video, or an educational piece where you educate people on the app, and then they would go ahead and they would download the app, right? Your conversion tool could be partnerships, right? So if you're partnering with organizations and they are then encouraging their customers and their patients to download the app, that's your conversion tool. So think about what will be the key that allows someone to download the app, and that's the conversion tool that you need to focus on. Chloe, what for a product like selling jams or swimwear or something other than coaching or mentoring? I don't feel that booking a call will work. No, totally right. So your conversion tool would be your Shopify store, right? So if you have a Shopify store, Chloe, your conversion tool would be your sales page on your Shopify store. Yeah. So if that's the case, then what you want to be looking at, which is what we're doing with a few of our clients at the moment, we look at their store and we're like, okay, well, how many people need to land on the page in order to convert? So some of my e-commerce clients, and e-commerce converts at between 2 and 5%, right? So I've got some e-commerce clients that are converting at 2.5%, which is perfectly normal. And I've got other e-commerce clients that are converting at 5%. So basically what that means is for every 100 people that land on their page, 5 people become customers. But you need to have the page up to know what that number is. We can send someone to a page, right? So we can send traffic to a page, but until you have the right volume of traffic, you don't know what the conversion tool is. So you might need to send 1,000 views, landing page views, to a page to understand how it's converting. Now, if you're sending 1,000 people to your website and no one's converting, you know that now you don't have a traffic problem, you have an offer problem, right? And so you can reverse engineer from there. Yeah, perfect, Chloe. You're welcome, Catherine. All right, so let's get clear on your conversions. So if your conversion tool is a webinar or a call, I know that if I have, let's say I have, what was my last one? Let's say I have 40 people register for my webinar. Of the 40, I had 18 people show, right? Of the 18 people who showed, I think I had like 14 people at the end. So I had roughly a 40% show ratio. I had roughly like a 60% completion ratio, right? Of the people who completed, I had 6 people who stayed for the sale. So what was that, like 6. So I had about 30 people go through the sales process. Of the 30% who went through the sales process, I had another 30% book a call, and then I converted 50%, right? So you start to look at the numbers to understand how that sort of figures out for you, right? So this is an important piece to understand. You are very welcome. So for those of you who have landing pages or product pages, how many people are landing on the page? If it's a lead gen campaign, how many people are landing on your page and how many people are opting in, right? So if you have 100 people on the page and an average opt-in is say 5 or 10%, you have 5 people opt in. If you have 5 people opt in, how many people are booking a call? Generally, it's going to be like 10 to, if you're lucky, 20%. So let's say you have 5 people book a call, you maybe have 1 person. If 5 people opt in, you might have 1 person book a call. From that 1 person book a call, average show rate's 50%, you've got no chance of making a sale, right? So you need to know your numbers. And when you know that number, you'll understand what it is that you need to do. Now, do you need to do lead gen campaigns? Yes, but your volume will be much higher. But if you don't have those metrics, you're just guessing. And that's not going to be any good for you. So we've got to stop guessing and know the number. Yeah. So what are the steps for you? 1, get clear on your current conversion tool or your current conversions. If you're not making sales, let's say you've got no customers and no sales, no downloads, maybe you're brand new, right? And you're in development stage, your first line of action will be to start doing some testing. And I don't mean paid testing. You need to start doing some testing. How many people are landing on your pages? If your pages are not live, you've got to get live, right? How many people are landing on your pages and how many people are opting in? So that's the first thing. For those of you who are coaches and consultants, how many people are booking a call with you? Of those people who book a call, how many people show? Because that's a thing, right? I mean, all my years at Fitness First, I can tell you, and at Total Fusion, I can tell you that we only ever had a 50% show rate. So if we had 10 appointments for the day, I knew 5 were going to show up. If 5 showed up, I knew that 2 or 3 were going to make a sale. 2 or 3 were going to cross the line, right? So just because you've downloaded a lead, it doesn't mean that leads to a sale. There's still many steps between that, the lead, and the sale. And when you understand that, you'll stop focusing on leads and you'll start focusing on, what do I need to make the sale? If you don't know your sales number, go 1 step back and go 1 step back. So as Facebook marketers, what we do is, let's say we're running a conversion campaign and we want someone to buy it. We've got a client at the moment who's a beautiful organic skincare line. Handmade, she's won like all the Australian beauty awards for organic skincare. She has like so many products and her products are beautiful, all handmade in Newcastle, Australia, right? So we were running conversion campaigns for her. So that's a campaign that's optimized for a sale. And because she has so many products, literally when you have so many products like that, creating a campaign for each one is really tough, right? So we picked her best sellers and we ran some campaigns from there. And when we didn't have the data that we wanted to be able to optimize, we took 1 step back, right? So instead of just looking at, okay, well, the conversion campaigns weren't giving us enough metrics for us to be able to measure it. So what was the step before that? Okay, how many people landed on the page? Because we could then see how many people land on the page versus how many people add to cart, right? So you take it 1 step back. If you're not getting the leads, how many people are landing on your page? And reverse engineer it from there. And then what you need to understand is, I can't read my own writing, isn't that so terrible? What you need to understand is, once you've got the reverse engineered, once you've got the mechanism to go, behind or backwards within that, then you can start to see where is it that your content, your copy, or your sales funnel, it has some bottlenecks or is broken, right? Because that can happen too. We can have this sales funnel and lead funnel, and I know that there's a couple of people in our group, and this is for you, and I don't need to tell you who are, but you know, if your campaigns are not converting, it's not the person's fault, right? It's not the customer's fault. It's always us, right? Because we're stuck on what we want to sell. It's happened to me last week. I was like, oh, I only want to do this. I have a bunch of products, which you guys may or might know, may or may not know. I have like my entry level product, which is a product called the Social Startup, where I coach people and help them be seen online. My next product is a digital business builders course where we help people build all of their funnels, their content funnel, their Facebook funnel, their conversion funnel, right? That piece. And then we do Facebook ads, which is our high ticket item, and we do done for you Facebook campaigns. They're the three things. But a lot of people have been asking me for this content magnet that I've been sharing because it helps people be seen across all the platforms. But I didn't want to do that, right? Because I'm like, I've got my 3 programs, they're proven, they work, I've got the systems in place, I don't want to start a new program. And my beautiful partner, he's like, well, why are you not meeting the market? I'm like, what do you mean? Of course I know what he means. Because I was stuck in what I wanted to deliver. I want it to be this. But the market was saying, Martine, I need the content machine. So now I've come to terms with it, and we just have soft launched the content machine as an offer, right? So it's a done for you service where we help you get seen online. And it's about leveraging our skills so that our customers can be seen super simply, right? So it was, here I am, I've got this idea of what I want to do, and this is the point. I've got this idea of what I wanted to do. I built my whole annual plan based on these core 3 products, and then the market says, hey, I want this. Now I can choose to do one of 2 things. I can be like, oh, this is my plan, and this is where I'm going to stay. Or I can listen to the market and say, hey, the market wants this. There's an opportunity here, which is what I did. It's actually how I built my whole business. So this week is 3 years since I left Total Fusion as the operations, or as general manager, and I did the startup. And it's 3 years that I've been full-time in marketing. This week. Is it this week? Yeah, this week. Full-time, 3 years in this business, right? And it has been a roller coaster. But my point is, the day I left my full-time job at Total Fusion as the manager, that was the day I trebled my income. And since then, I've been living and working digitally full-time. And so what I can tell you is I said yes. I said yes to what the market asked of me, and I figured it out. So we can be stuck in our thing, and we can be stuck on this is what people need, but we need to give them what they want as well as what they need, right? So how can you then start to attract the people who are looking for you? Yeah. So rather than looking for leads, maybe we need to look for connections. Maybe we need to look for the things that people are looking for. If you're just starting out, maybe it's time to test what that looks like before you build big websites. Now, one of the things that so many of my mentors, Roger James Hamilton, Dee Hutchinson, these are people that I've been in the field of, like I've been working with both of them for 5+ years, right? And they say the same thing. Offer it first and then build it. So this is how we test what goes out. So in the space of sales, right, it's time to start thinking about what is the thing that's going to help us get to the space where we can generate a client, right? The sale is not the sale, it's just the key to begin the transformation. People value what they pay for, just like you value what you pay for. If it's free, it's easy to do and it's easy not to do, right? Same for your customers and your clients. If it's free, it's easy to opt in, easy to opt out. That's not necessarily what we want. So what is the process that takes someone from a lead to a sale, right? How do you then get clear on the numbers so you know where to play, so you can focus on the right things? How can you leverage that or get more people into that space? And it may not necessarily be about getting more leads. Okay? And then once you know what that is, then you can start to optimize. Sales only has the energy you give it. And so it's time to really believe that it's safe for you to make sales. And it's time to really believe that there's someone looking for the work that you have. So it's been a big download today for everyone on sales. Sales is definitely a recipe. Yeah, it definitely is a process. And I remember sitting with someone else, also from Roger Hamilton's group, several years ago, and they're very successful people. And they said, oh, I thought sales was relationships. I'm like, relationships is part of the recipe, but sales is a recipe. It's actually, sales is a very, when we talk about the energy, sales is very metal energy. It's mechanical energy. It's process energy. You need to have a process. So when you get to this space, your energy is not, holy shit balls, I got to make a sale. Your energy is like, I know this inside out. This is the thing that works. Some will, some won't. So what? Right? And when you do that, the energy changes because you're not like, I need the sale. Some will, some won't. So what? The right people are waiting for you. It's a numbers game. You've got to know your numbers, because when you know your numbers, a no is just a step closer to the yes. If you knew that of every 10 people that you spoke to, 5 would become customers, but you didn't know which 5 they were, you'd speak to the 10 people. If you knew today that you would speak to 10 people and 5 of them would become customers, but you didn't know who they were, what would be the energy around each one of them? You knew 100% that if you spoke to 10 people today, 5 would become customers. How would you speak to every person? That is the thing. The same on your websites, Chloe. So for your websites, if you knew that every single person who landed was going to be a customer, how would your website look? Catherine, if you knew that every single person that you got in front of was going to actually, if you knew that 50% of people that you got in front of were going to download the app, how would that change things for you? Because that is true. 30% of the people that you speak to were always going to buy, right? So if your sales conversion is 30%, just means you're good at building relationships. 30% of the people that you're speaking to were always on the fence. So there's a little bit of like convincing or sales skill in there, and 30% of people were never going to buy, right? So if you know that straight down the line, 50% of people that you speak to were probably going to buy, and 50% maybe not, right? That's a good place to start. All right. Drop your, I'd love to know from you, anyone who's watching this, drop your conversion tool. What is your conversion tool? Do you know that? Drop that in the chat below. If you want me to have a look at it, drop it in the chat below. Happy to check it out. Number 2 is, do you know your numbers? If you know your numbers, go ahead and do that. Otherwise, go ahead and have a look at your numbers and work out what are the steps to make a sale and how many people do you need in each step, right? And then what is the offer that's going to help you help people? Happy Monday, my loves. It's been, as always, such a pleasure to be of service to you guys. Let me know how we can be of service to you. If you want more information on any of these sales tools, we have a bunch of them in the digital business course. Super happy to help with you there. Otherwise, have the most brilliant week ahead, month ahead. I love a fresh week. Go ahead, drop your sales numbers down below, make it happen for yourself, and let us know how we can be of greater service to you. I so appreciate you. Thanks for being here. You're amazing.